Yo, what's good, YouTube? How are you doing? Welcome back to the Random Fandom.
No, hold on, wait. Now we start. Hello, welcome back to the Random Fandom. I'm your host Ravenwood,
And your other host, Dominic Rex.
and for today's live stream, even though we're about 40-ish minutes late due to the movie, it's movie's length. Although we still trying to figure out what time we need to watch the movie ahead of time because sometimes the movies are like, oh, it's a little bit longer, oh, it's a little shorter, and
Basically, we suck at keeping track of scheduling.
no, it's not that. No, we just we're not very good at timing. Anyways,
But today on the channel, we are going to be discussing Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Quite possibly the greatest Indiana Jones film that was ever made.
well, that is why I have the thumbnail.
Is it as good?
No, that's why. Hold on, one moment. Just because I yawned and cut myself off does not mean you can speak.
I wanted to speak in between the gap so there's
Sure.
not dead air.
No, that's not how dead air works. Just
That
give
is
me
how-
some.
that's
No,
exactly
no, dead
how it
air
works.
is just where. No. Anyways, no. Okay, so just don't interrupt. There. As I was saying, no, the reason for my, which is why I had the thumbnail, old fans and new fans. I think both old and new fans can agree. Sorry, excuse me. I think both old and new fans can agree that this film is probably the best film, even though it mimics the first film in the sense of the villains being the Nazis again.
And that's all right.
But I think the reason why Steven Spielberg
And
had it,
Frank Marshall.
and George Lucas I think also had control over it, um, had steered right back towards Nazis because the fan it's probably because of like the fact that probably just because of like how fans appreciated like the narrative of the first film or something like that, or the overall theme and everything about the first film. And personally, I don't think that the films have to be Nazis, but
Well,
anyways,
I mean, the Nazis were reoccurring villains throughout the
but
books.
but what I will say is that I mean, yes, but like in the stories and whatnot, but like the idea of but what I'm trying to say is though is that it just feels like, oh, you didn't like the second film, well, we're just take elements from the first film and then just put put it together in this um in the third film, or and they even what's his name, the guy with the red
Sean
hat.
Connery.
No, the guy with the red hat, I forgot his name.
Oh, the Red Hat.
From the first film.
I don't.
He's a bit wide.
I know who you're talking about. I'm having a hard time remembering his name exactly.
Oh, why? Okay. Okay. Now they have to eat. For some reason, they also added. They basically added everyone and had everyone on the journey, including Marcus. There. Um.
Basically, everyone says that Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is the greatest Indiana Jones film of all time. But is it as great as fans remember the film being? Does it hold up in the modern day?
Yes.
Or is it maybe a bit more disappointing than fans would have you believe? Well, that's what we're here to discuss today. Soon as Raven's finished.
Salah. Yeah, yes. Salah and Marcus Brody.
Yeah, Marcus Brody.
Alongside other temporary partners like Short Round and Marion Ravenwood. And for some reason, Ned, from T.E. Lawrence Ned, an influential mentor figure from Indy's younger years who shaped his adventuring spirit. Oh, from his younger years. Okay, Ned. I forgot who Ned is. Unless he was in the TV show. Let me look it up.
It's quite possible. To summarize, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is a movie about Indiana Jones's adventures, searching once again for a relic of the past. Um, you know, as he is an archaeologist, so he is
What is
going
that?
to search for, new
Oh
discoveries.
no, he's an actual archaeologist. What?
Anyways, this adventure, however, has him searching for the Holy Grail, rather than the Ark of the Covenant um, or some mythical stone
Oh, okay.
taken by a bunch of cultists, uh, thuggians. Um, the different this time as well in the adventure, Indiana Jones is accompanied by Marcus Brody and his father,
Yeah,
Henry Jones Sr.
and he was named after the dog.
No, he picked that name as his alias. His name is Henry Jones Sr. His name is Henry Jones Jr.,
Junior.
but he chose Indiana Jones as his alias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
Rega-
names his son Mutt.
Yes.
Which is such a
It is pretty funny, but
They could have
regardless,
just recasted Mutt for the fifth film, in my opinion.
they could have, but they wanted Indiana Jones, not Mutt Jones.
This time, no, it's the Disney thing. For some reason, Disney is allergic to the idea of recasting people, despite the fact that Rhodes, I think it was Rhodes, the other Iron Man, what's his name? The Iron Patriot.
War Machine.
Yeah, War Machine. He was recasted.
Yeah.
The actor complained. Both actors. Both what's his name? The actor for Rhodes and the actor for what's his name? For he plays it as the main character as Sam. Mutt. Always for that the actor. I forgot his name.
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, shit LaBeouf. He. The reason why he's not in a lot of the Transformer films after the third movie is especially after the third movie, right?
If you hear any noise in the background, that is our cat Luna. She's just gonna be
anyways,
making mischief.
Shia LaBeouf did not want to be in the fifth film. That they were actually going to make a fifth film after the fourth film was over.
Instead, they brought in Indiana Jones.
Like, oh, I'm not being paid enough for the stunts and whatnot, and okay, that's fair and whatnot, but like,
so instead,
when studios are hesitant to recast people because it draws too many questions, unless you're a woman for some reason. I noticed there was a lot of female actors and actresses, or no TV show. Unless you're a TV show actor, you could get recasted a lot easier. Now, granted, the movie the movie actors, it's not all of them, but some of the movie actors for the Transformers the live action movie were recasted for different voice actors, cheaper ones for the TV show. That's a different circumstance. That's what happens when you get celebrity voice actors at the time, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson, for example, is another big example.
He's an iconic face of
he was too expensive. Well, no, hold on. And for anything, honestly, he was too expensive for both Fortnite and for Cliff Jumper for Transformers. Good, taking this back. They literally killed him off.
Because they could not afford him.
They cannot afford him, and they probably got rid of Dwayne The Rock Johnson for Fortnite because they could not afford him. However, they brought him back again in Fortnite, and then now we're experiencing a V-Bucks situation where they increased the prices. So yeah. Anyways, there's a lot of stupid decisions when it comes to voice actors and whatnot, all other stuff. When it comes because money.
But we're not here to talk about
I know.
capitalism. We are here to discuss Indiana Jones.
Well,
the Last
the thing
Crusade.
is, though, you used to say that, but also the thing is, the moral lesson from Indiana Jones is also greed and capitalism.
Well, capitalism,
not just
not
necessarily
so much there, but
well, not so much.
they
as
bring in
capitalism,
a
but
they
greed.
bring in a lot of reoccurring faces to play roles as side characters and cameos.
Marion was not available for the third film.
Yeah, not the third film, but they reprise her role later in the fourth and I believe the fifth film, or at least she's mentioned in the Dial
No,
of
she's
Destiny.
only mentioned in the fifth film.
I just said that.
Sorry.
You don't like being interrupted.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I'm sorry.
No problem interrupting other people.
Sorry. No. Calm down.
Hypocrite.
I got a hypocrite. I'm not hypocrite. I'm not hypocrite. I just jumped ahead. My bad. I jumped ahead.
Oh, so I can't jump ahead.
No. It's not. It's fine. You're fine. You can jump ahead.
Anyway, having caught that. Point being, Dial of Destiny, rather than revisiting Mutt's role, they brought in Indiana Jones's daughter instead and had him share adventures with her.
Was it?
I believe it was his daughter. It was either his daughter or his niece. Regardless of the fact, that's an entirely different story for an entirely different day. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is a story where Indiana Jones finally, after a couple of years, like I believe it was 28 years, manages to recapture the Crucible, the Holy Crucible.
His goddaughter, Helena Shaw.
Goddaughter. Okay, so he manages to, so I wasn't entirely off by daughter, but goddaughter. He manages to retake the Crucible.
A brief appearance, correcting us both, a brief appearance of Marion Ravenwood carrying Helen.
Right. Anyways, we just rewatched this movie and I'm already struggling to recapture everything because of you're cutting me off.
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
My train of thought. You say that. Okay, let me just backtrack a bit. Indiana Jones trying to take the Crucible from, I believe, ancient history, from these bandits, from these low robbers of sorts. And there's a little chase sequence, the circus train and everything. Ravenwood loves train scenes, train fights, train chases. He loves everything about those types. So obviously this was going to be his favorite film as well, Indiana Jones trilogy.
Oh, apparently Shia LaBeouf initially praised Ford, but tensions rose when LaBeouf publicly criticized the film, leading Ford to calling him a fucking idiot for bad-mouthing their work.
Right. Anyways,
they did not like each other. The actors did not like each other. That's probably what ended up happening.
Well, probably. But where was I at? I'm sorry. It's a little late in the evening, so my mind's not on track.
Oh, okay. So here's what he said.
Man, I'm trying to give a summary here. Stop interrupting.
I'm sorry, but
save it for after the summary. Save it for after the summary.
I know. I really sorry.
I don't care.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
All right. So, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is Indiana Jones on an adventure to find the Holy Grail. That is what he's looking for, the Holy Grail.
Hmm.
as he's finding the Holy Grail. Uh, well, technically, that is the end goal of the movie. Originally, it was his father who was on a quest to find the Holy Grail, Henry Henry Jones Sr. The main antagonist of the film, a man by the name of Donovan, hires Indiana Jones to um, find their find their man who was apparently abducted and went missing. Turns out that missing man is his father, Henry Jones Sr. So Indiana Jones and Marcus Brody accept the mission to find Indiana Jones's father, um, and discover where he's been taken. And from there, they uncover clues about the location of the Holy Grail. And then being led along is um, being led along by Dr. Schneider. Uh, I believe her name is Irene Schneider. Was it Irene Schneider or Erica Schneider?
Oh, I have to look up something else then.
Brother.
It was
Her name is Schneider.
Elias Schneider. I think.
Elias Schneider. So she acts as a guide of sorts for Indiana on this journey to look for uh, his father. Once they find his father in the clutches of Nazis working directly under Donovan, Indiana Jones is double crossed, as he is in many of his other films.
Elsa Schneider.
Elsa Schneider, as he is in many of his other films. He's double crossed in books, apparently. He's double crossed a lot by people he considers friends or potential love interests. Regardless of this fact, Indiana Jones and his father work um, to get his father's diary back and save Marcus Brody, who was also taken by the Nazis because he held a few pages from the diary that contained the map to the Holy Grail.
The unfortunate airhead.
The unfortunate airhead. But he's an old man, so we'll forgive him for his airheadedness. So they end up all ending in the same place. And the movie ends with Indiana Jones, father Marcus Brody, and their ally Shaw riding off
Shala.
riding off Shala.
No, Salah.
Salah. Okay.
Salah.
Riding off into the sunset.
I just realized I also corrected myself, correcting you 3 times.
Riding off into the sunset. Now, with that little summary not really helping, I'm sorry. I'm still a bit light, groggy. What would you say was your favorite part of this film, Raven?
Hold on, give me a second. For some reason, when I typed in characters in The Last Crusade to help us all up here,
yeah, I'm stuttering a lot.
It gave me a different. It gave me a different Last Crusade, so I'm gonna have to type in Indiana Jones.
Yeah. The only reason I'm stuttering a lot today is because I'm sleepy. Give me a break.
No, you stupid AI thing. This is okay. So The Last Crusade, or The Rise of the New World, centers the forbidden romance between Izaka, a talented soldier from the technological empire. Yeah, it's giving me a completely different. It's giving me an anime here, even though I literally legit typed in Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. Indiana Jones. Let me just type in Indiana Jones 3. Why did it? do that? Why did?
Maybe you had to capitalize it.
No, it's just for some reason I would
Also,
type. No, I literally just
I have a
typed.
Mr. Pibb.
I literally typed in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and it gave me the anime of some other whatever. Anyways, there's Indiana Jones, Elsa
It's the
Schneider,
internet, man.
Grail Knight, Marcus Brody, Henry Walton Jones Sr., Walter Donovan, Salah Mohammed, and then he has a longer name.
Let me see.
And Garth from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, Garth is
and then there's also other
guy who gives Indiana Jones his hat.
My quick summary of it is that if there's a flashback to Indiana Jones when he was younger, and who was his best friend? Oh, at the beginning of the movie.
I don't know. I think it was one of his colleagues in Boy Scouts.
Yeah, one of his friends, one of his colleagues. They're the G-Man.
My cat's just over here, just looking at us, wondering what are we doing. We don't know ourselves, Luna. We're just trying to make a live stream, but we're fine.
Kazim, huh? What's Kazim? No, they don't. What's his name? Kazim. Oh, Kazim was the Kazim was the Brotherhood.
Brotherhood
leader.
They were the Brotherhood are characters.
I was wondering what his name was. Okay, so
Indiana Jones.
Anyways, okay, going back to so
Indiana Jones.
Indiana
encounters
Jones
these characters while on a quest to find his father.
Anyways, so at the beginning of the film, there's a flashback to young Indiana Jones and his friend, and they catch a bunch of grave robbers who worked for Panama Hat. I know, very clever name.
Were they grave robbers or just thieves?
Thieves. Panama Hat. Let me look it up. See if that's. Yeah, Panama Hat. That
was his genuine name.
Genuine character. Panama Hat, and they. Let me get all this.
They were attempting to acquire the Crucible.
Oh, his name was just Scout. There was a second Scout. Sorry, there was Scout 1, Scout 2.
Yeah.
What was the first Scout? That's a different Scout. What was the Scout's name? Rough Rider? Oh, wait.
No,
that was the old man. Okay. I'm trying to look for the
Scout 2.
No, that was not that's in the film. Anyways, regardless. Okay, stop. Shut up. Okay. Hey, calm down.
You calm down.
Anyways, what was it? Okay, sorry, there was something that I had read and I thought that would give me the scout's name, but it didn't. But anyways, I got this started. Anyways, him and a scout boy found that there were a bunch of men who were stealing a cross.
I didn't ask you to give them another summary.
No, I want to give a different summary. Sorry, who was looking for a cross, and he returned home to his father so he can give it to the museum.
This cross being the Crucible.
No, it was a different cross.
No, they literally called it the Crucible. I remember that's the one thing they kept calling it in the film.
I'll double check.
In the film, they kept calling it the Crucible.
Who he meets, anyways, during this fight over this cross, he meets the guy who gives him his hat, and Garth, who inspires him to have his fake accent and his personality overall.
His gruff little modern day action adventure archaeologist persona.
Yes.
Part-time teacher.
Coronado. It's a Spanish cross.
Coronado.
Yeah, it's a Christian.
Coronado. Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing to do. Yeah, it's a jewel-encrusted golden crucifix with a chain named for Spanish explorer Francisco vacues de Coronado, who believed to contain a piece of the cross upon which Jesus Christ was crucified. Which
I kept hearing crucible for some reason.
crucifix, but anyways.
They kept saying it so fast.
Anyways, he then later in life meets Panama Hat, who literally wore a Panama hat.
Just to get the cross of Coronado once again.
Yeah, to get the cross back. Which oddly enough, another relic which does not have mystical powers beyond our comprehension.
There's only a very few of those in Indiana Jones.
Anyways, and so Marcus congratulates him, and then of course he goes to search not for the Holy Grail, but for his father, who was looking for the Holy Grail. And then he turns out that when they go to France to find the tomb,
they went to Italy.
Yeah, they go to Italy, and it's
Venice, Italy.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Anyways, they went to Venice, Italy to find. He makes a deal with Donovan, and then he goes to Venice, Italy, to not to find the tomb, and then they go to Germany.
They go to find the last known location of his father.
Yeah, the last known location of his father
before he disappeared.
Yeah, before he disappears. But then they go to the tomb. Then they go to Germany to find him. Then they went to they leave Germany.
You're rushing past that tomb part. They don't just find a tomb. While they are searching the last known location of his father, they stumble across the tomb of Richard Lionheart.
I think
King Richard the First.
I believe.
It was King Richard. It was King Richard tomb. Or at least
no, they mentioned King Richard.
Yeah, but it was his.
Why is there so many freaking ads on this one episode?
Yeah, websites have ads now. So many of them. But yes, it was.
The Temple of the Sun was a tomb.
No, I'm talking about the grave site under the church they were at, where that was rebuilt not rebuilt, but repurposed as an archive.
So actually, Chiesa di Naba in Venice, Italy, which serves as the exterior for the fictional library. So the library doesn't exist at all. But anyways, there's nothing. Catacombs underneath the floor. So it's not a gravesite. It was the catacombs.
Catacombs where they find it.
Which used to be a church.
Where they find a bunch of caskets.
And actually, I find it interesting in that scene where the archaeologist Elsa and Marcus Brody are looking at the bookshelves for the numbers that were also on the
pillars.
The painted window. That was also on the painted window and the columns. But the thing is, those bookshelves, over the years, those bookshelves would be replaced with newer bookshelves. So they were not thinking.
They were looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, but of course, X marks the spot. Which I saw anyway. And then they go get his father in Germany. Then they
find out he's being held in Germany by
Marcus. Goes to
Marcus just gets separated from everyone.
Marcus goes to where Salah was.
But he gets separated from Salah, and the Germans take him.
Where was Salah? I don't think he was in Egypt. Where?
No, they weren't in Egypt.
But he was ahead of everyone else.
He was ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
They were still, I believe,
They went to Haiti, or whatever it's called.
Hatay.
They went to Hatay, which, they went to Hatay, and then they found the Temple of the Sun, and then they found no sun there. They went to the tip of the sun, which is a wonder in itself. I love it. Um, they find the Holy Grail, and they save his father in the movie. All that other jazz. Being Babadoo. Now, what least favorite part of this movie?
Well, I asked you first.
Oh yeah, my least favorite part of the movie. Okay. So my least favorite part of the movie was
We are kind of rushing it though because yeah. Normally
Shush.
we'd be talking more a storm of this, but because the other films we had a lot more to say about it. This film not so much.
No. There's much to say. There's just so much love into it. My least favorite part of the film was there was something that had to do with there was a leap in logic somewhere, and I forgot when this when what the leap of logic happened. Oh damn it!
Oh God, Luna got herself stuck in.
Oh
in
no,
the
my
old
least
cradle.
favorite part of the film was
Yeah. Did you get yourself stuck?
not least favorite scene.
She's
'Cause
unstuck now. There we go.
so my least favorite scene, I guess, in the movie, um, was when Mr. Donovan sent his men to collect Jones, and then when Mr. Donovan also warned him about trust nobody. It was clever, but then, well, it's not my scene, but it's more so my least favorite. Like
Cluster of scenes.
I won't say cluster of scenes. It was my least favorite um,
Series of events.
series of events that happened. Because
We're
like
not talking about series.
I know, but like there's not a specific scene. It's just this. It was just like, oh hey, trust no one. The villain tells Indiana Jones. The villain tells the protagonist to trust no one. But then he also he also warns. It's smart. It's smart. Like he warns him that someone had kidnapped his father. It's a nice trope. It's a neat trope, but like there's nothing really to hate about the scene or any. There's not really a scene that stands out to me that I dislike or whatever. It's just and it makes sense in the game. Like he would fall. The
it's
metaphor. No, metaphorically. I meant like not.
All right.
I meant not game. The end of the like. Well,
the end of the whole transition of events where he's trying to get his father.
There's kind of a leap of logic. I think that's not necessarily the part of that I have issue with necessarily. Of the leap of logic of like, oh, don't trust.
It was predictable.
Oh no.
But then again, we've seen this film multiple times while we were children. So
there was also the leap of logic of like the fact he tells Indiana Jones.
Hold on, my cat wants to get out real quick. You keep yapping.
Something that I picked up was that their rooms both get trashed. I don't know why Indiana Jones gets two separate rooms, but for some reason their rooms both get trashed, and it doesn't. Why would she trash? Like it, I think it's indicating that she trashed both of their rooms and played music in the bathroom to indicate that
no one would hear it.
No one would hear that. She would not hear the people trying to rob their place. But the problem is, Indiana Jones should cut this. There was a lot of stuff that if you think about it, if they knock over certain stuff, someone would have at least heard it, or at least she would have at least heard it, despite how loud the music was. It's clever, but like I feel like there's like
it should have been obvious.
Indiana Jones is always falling for stuff. I understand that, like, oh hey, it is kind of clever, and I will give it to writers. It's not a big deal. It's just sort of a nitpick that doesn't seem
He's
plausible.
clever, but he's not too bright.
Oh yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not too bright. But I understand that he's more of an archaeologist, but it's not too bright and whatnot. But however, if his weakness is not just snakes, a lot of people tend to overlook
He's
this.
too trusting.
He's too trusting of women. Remember,
Well,
he's
not just
he's
that,
a
but
womanizer.
He's a womanizer, but he is also too trusting of people in general. Otherwise, he wouldn't keep falling for the ploys of people like Donovan, Max, uh, just people in general.
Yeah. And likewise, I will say have my same complaint about the death of Elsa. It's the same complaint that I have for the arch nemesis. Only this one's much more deeper than that. Like the death of his arch nemesis, Renee, makes more sense because of the fact that Renee. It's just Renee.
I'm pretty sure there was
I
an
looked
R.
up, it was Renee. I'm not going to look it up. I've been looking things up all this time. I'll look it up when you start talking. Anyway, what I personally don't like is like, oh, I helped you. Like, okay, Elsa was willing to change sides again after the fact that the German. This was actually clever. This is something I did like that they don't kill all their villains all in one scene. This time they killed off the German Volga. They killed off Volga when he died in the tank.
Yeah, crashed and burned. They killed off their villains one after another.
Yeah, this was different in the terms of how they kill off, because you know how
all
like
villains weren't destroyed in one go. They were killed via series of events.
Well, the first film had multiple side antagonists slowly killed off, but the three main antagonists weren't killed in one scene. This one,
they were picked off one by one.
Well, sort of.
I say picked off, but they were defeated one by one.
Well, she was defeated in the same area. That's like a little. Her death does not necessarily count as like killed off in a different scene because she was killed in the same area.
It's a different scene, different scene, the same area.
But she wasn't killed in the same lurid way.
Well,
that's the way I was. I think that's what I was talking about. Volgar also didn't die in a very lurid way, and that's actually interesting. That this time the Nazis were more so a side character than a main threat. I feel like they were more so the first film. They were more so of a threat than it didn't take away him and his influence of Renee being a charismatic and whatnot. I liked that she dies because of her greed, but I feel like she had a chance to be redeemed in the sense of like, oh.
So in other words, you were dissatisfied with some of the villains' death.
Yeah. I understand it. Like like Renee's death, I understand it more than her death. Like I feel like she could have been redeemed a little bit.
She could have been redeemed, but she refused to let go of her own greed.
Yeah, I feel like they could have changed the thing. You know, like oh, okay, like you know, they could have changed. No, I want to say they could have changed.
It's pretty realistic, though. There are many people out there that refuse to let go. And they end up getting themselves hurt or killed because of it.
I feel like it would have been
that's a hard lesson, Indiana Jones 3.
But this wasn't her lesson to learn. This was his lesson, Indiana Jones's lesson to learn.
It was his lesson to learn, but
even
it was also a harsh lesson that she learned at the end.
The problem with that lesson also is that she literally dies while Indiana Jones tries to save her.
That's the price she paid for not letting go.
I know that, but like, no. The problem with him learning the lesson is that she literally dies not letting go. But I understand what they were trying to do is to push it for the father to teach him to let go of the Grail. It was just a over glorified cup, which technically its powers only worked in the temple.
In the temple, yeah. So it
was basically
it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah. Technically, the water had more power, or the holy water had more power. There was
Regardless of that, he had to learn to let go
there
of the
was so
fact that Elsa didn't let
there
go.
wasn't a specific scene in the movie that I didn't like. There was
You just had a few persnickets.
yeah, just have a persnickets. Now for you, turn.
My least favorite scene in this film, I wouldn't really say it's my least favorite because I hated it. It's just my least favorite in terms of I enjoyed every other scene more than this one. Is the whole ambush scene with the Brotherhood of the Holy Grail,
Oh yeah, okay.
where they just all get picked off so easily by the German forces. Like,
But at the same time, they also picked off a lot of the.
They did pick off a lot of the German forces.
German.
Give me a second. I'm trying to rush here because I know you're about to fucking interrupt me again. I feel like I have to slap you.
Okay, sorry.
But I can't do it because we're on camera.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
Anyways.
And again, this is not to say I hated it. The reason why it's my least favorite scene out of all of them is because we barely get any screen time with these with these guys. They just kind of show up and
we're the Brotherhood. We're
they
gonna
all
fight you.
freaking die.
Yeah, okay. I will complain about not the fact that
they're all just wiped out. Just,
no, I'm not going to complain about how they were
by one small group of Nazis that don't even belong to Hitler's sect. They just a bunch of hired guns by Volga. Just tell me the name.
No, it's just Volga. Sorry.
Volga.
I'm thinking of
Volga working under Donovan. And they just wiped this Brotherhood off the face of the earth. I'm like, what was your job then? Like, you didn't have any other meats?
Yeah. Vogel, my bad. Sorry.
Vogel.
Ernest. Let's just call him Ernest. His first name's Ernest.
They get wiped out just like that. And like
earlier,
when Jones
also noticed sorry. Okay, sorry.
Earlier in the film, Indiana Jones and Elsa Schneider, or was it? Yeah, they meet this one member of the Brotherhood while trying to find his father. And this Brotherhood member makes it sound like they're so important to the Holy Grail. And it makes it sound like they're this big group of, ancient protectors that could potentially become Indiana Jones's greatest allies in the end. They show up for one scene and get wiped off the face of the earth.
Okay. What's also interesting is that the Nazis were also grouped up with the Hatay.
I know that I just found it was a bit of a disappointment, but it was also comedically hilarious that this ominously mysterious movement of people protecting the legend of the Holy Grail just get wiped off the face of the earth in one scene after hyping themselves up in one
not really hyped them up.
Well, they tried to hype them up in one scene with this one guy,
Kamsin.
Kamasin or Kevin? Kazim. They tried to hype them up through Kazim, and that was my only nitpick.
My only nitpick about
you've had your nitpick.
Okay, I know. I want to also build up off of yours a little bit. my only problem with the Brotherhood is like they kind of there was no warning. Sorry, they just kind of feel like they're out of nowhere in a way. Why didn't like they knew Indiana Jones Sr. or Henry Jones Sr.
They knew the Germans were looking for the Holy Grail.
Yeah, they also knew, but they also attacked Indiana Jones. They just kind of feel like they were just
Well,
shoehorned in. They feel
Scene explained that they were trying to protect the Holy Grail. Indiana Jones explained that his father was looking for the Grail. He was just trying to find his father.
I just don't know how they knew that Jones was there looking for the Grail.
Same way everyone knows where Indiana Jones is. They do their research.
Regardless, I feel like they kind of just were out of place a little bit.
A little bit, but anyways, my only gripe is that they were just kind of a one and done movement.
I don't mind that they were introduced. Whether or not they were shoehorned in or not, they were introduced.
And they got wiped out. Like there was no greater purpose.
You would think that the Brotherhood would also try to protect the
place where the Holy Grail was.
And Well, I also don't understand. I understand why, because like the Christians and the Crusaders were also looking for the Ark of the Covenant. But I feel like adding the Easter egg of the Ark of the Covenant was a little.
This chair is horrible.
Like it felt like an unnecessary cherry.
Well, regardless of that.
Anyways,
let's move on to favorites.
Favorite scenes.
What was your favorite scene from this film?
Honorable mention. First, I know honorable mention was the train scene because I like trains and I like train fights and the tricks that people do while on that when you're on a narrow space and that narrow space is also moving. You have limited options of how to fight.
So it's all creative.
Yeah, it's all creative, especially what type. You have to think like what type of train it is, what era the train is from. Is it from the boxcar trailer?
Just the movement of the scene itself.
Yeah, there's also that. There's like also the fact that like during high-paced scene, high-chased whatever scene, everything is moving.
As long as you execute
to F up a train scene.
There are some films out there that have done this.
I don't think there's a way to ruin a train scene because it's really hard to do. So, or at least I imagine
you'd be surprised. Some have done this.
I don't know, but you have to tell me in the comments below to watch a film and see whether I like it or not. Anyway, this movie has the worst train scene ever. Then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But.
Or you can let it
train fight scene or whatever. It's an honorable mention, but it's not my favorite scene. My favorites, and I don't want to pick favorites over just because of the train scene because it feels like it's favorite scene.
Pick your favorite scene.
I know. What I'm trying to say is the reason why I don't pick it as my favorite scene because I just don't want to it's just a little.
That's perfectly fine. You're free. I know pick it just
but my favorite scene would I guess my favorite scene would have to be there's a lot of honorable mentions in it, funny moments and whatnot. My favorite scene I have to say would have to be where the Brotherhood were fighting on the boats. I just really like that scene. That's my favorite scene.
The chase sequence on the boat.
Yeah, the chase sequence on the boats, them fighting the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood didn't have to die.
But the Brotherhood was chasing Indiana Jones and Elsa across
especially when the narrow gap. It was literally
between the boats. Yeah.
I also like the boats too. Like that's what got me to liking not all boats.
The set piece design was
no. The designs of the boats I really liked. It was what got this entire scene got me to liking boats, and I also but Thomas the Train got me is what got me to liking trains. So you think that the train scene got me into liking trains? No, maybe.
Speaking of which,
I'm not 100% certain.
Thomas the Train, Adventures of
No,
Sodor,
Wonders of Sodor.
Wonders of Sodor coming to Steam soon.
No, it's a PlayStation. I think it's already out on PlayStation. The only people on PlayStation are playing.
No, I thought it was coming to Steam. My bad.
Well, I'm not certain, but
The
anyways.
trailer kind of let me think, oh, it's on Steam.
On Steam because I can't say. Anyways, so where was I? I I really want to like the tank scene more, but I just it's like a juggle. I want to juggle it, but I like the Brotherhood fight more. There's just
Or the chase scene across the canals of Venice.
yes, it's just
I know
it's
the
just
set
pretty.
piece there was
I want to say
visually
the set
pleasing.
piece. It's just
It was the entire set.
yeah.
You know,
Anyways,
it was appealing.
yeah. Anyways, next.
My favorite honorable mention all the way first. At the spot in the film where literally Indiana Jones and his father go into the belly of the beast. They go to Berlin, Germany, and there you can see a bunch of the German people are burning Jewish Bibles. Um, and while Indiana Jones is trying to get his dad's diary back from Elsa Schneider, once he does, he gets swept away by the crowd, and he's dressed
This is
up.
your
he
favorite
just-
scene?
No, honorable mention. You
Oh man,
don't
okay, sorry, my bad.
pay attention.
Okay, sorry.
He gets swept up by the crowd. He's dressed up as a Nazi soldier, and and the most inconvenient timing bumps into Adolf Hitler. Now we know
Yeah.
it's not the real Adolf Hitler; it's just an actor they used in the film. But he bumps into Adolf Hitler, the supreme Führer, and Adolf Hitler sees him holding a book, and he looks at Indiana Jones, thinking him a soldier who's a fan, and he just decide to reward him for even bothering to read what all was in there.
Probably cost millions.
Yeah,
that was his real. Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, that journal in the Indiana Jones universe, that journal would cost millions. He signs it, he gives it back to Indiana Jones, and he just marches on his way. And Indiana Jones is just like, oh. And then he just leaves. That's my honorable mention. My favorite scene in general, and before I say it, I want to say that Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, unlike most of the other films, you just can't help but laugh and enjoy the journey with these characters because all the actors know how to drive their emotions, their uh, they know how to play their characters well. The way they portray themselves as their character is just so phenomenally well done. Phenomenally well done. I'm sorry, I stuttered. Uh, but this is my favorite scene. Is during the during the moment where they escape from the blimp after Indiana Jones punches this Volga's lights out. Ernest's lights out, then just gives no ticket. Everyone gives them their tickets. After they escape from the blimp is turning around to try and take them back to Berlin. They escape via a plane that was hooked up conveniently to the blimp. As they're flying away, they're trying to escape. Two German dogfighters are coming around trying to shoot them. And Indiana Jones tells his dad to take the gun and start shooting back at the planes. And this man, as he's trying to shoot down the German planes, ends up shooting his own
Tail.
the tail of the plane, the tail end of the plane. He shoots that, and he just sinks in his seat like like oh no, and as the plane starts to tilt downward because they're losing altitude, Indiana Jones just he calls back like, "Dad, what happened? We're losing altitude. Did they get us?" More or less. Junior, I'm sorry. Jones glances back, and Henry Jones points with the thumb. He's like, they got us. Even though he shot them himself. He blames it on the Germans. He's just like,
Don't worry.
eh.
God works in mysterious ways, and it makes him regret it later on for lying to his son.
I know. But the way they just executed the scene so comically, just it was so comedically well done. The expressions of the characters and how they were like, oh, that even the German dog fighters were confused. But anyways, yeah, so their plane goes down and they end up having to come up with a bunch of new ways to try and evade these German pilots, chasing them down with their planes. And the ultimate way they do this is one, they steal a car, drive through a tunnel, one plane follows them through the tunnel, clips his wings, and then as he's sliding down the tunnel, passes them, is just like, how have I not died yet? Like he's confused as he sees them as he's sliding back. And then at
Because
the
normally,
at the end of the tunnel, that's when the plane blows up. And then with the final plane, uh, Henry Jones Sr. just starts flapping his umbrella like firing seagulls up into the air, and the seagulls all swarm the plane, and the guy smashes into the cliffside. That entire scene was so well executed.
what I also liked from the movie was
Yeah, you've already had yours,
I don't know.
but that was my favorite.
Another honorable mention, I guess, was the tank scene where like
Mm.
all this random everything was happening in the tank scene, and the pen is mightier than the sword and whatnot.
Just
Vogel's death may not have been lurid as the other, but what I noticed,
graphic.
what I noticed that it seemed that when they pushed the toy tank or the fake maybe fake tank,
We don't need to ruin the illusion.
but like they like his face looked so fake. It's like
But they delivered it so well. That's one thing I will praise this movie on, is that the characters deliver, and everything about the film, from the set pieces to the sequences of events to the characters themselves, all of it is so well done. And it makes you can't help but smile and laugh throughout the entire thing, and you're on the edge of your seat throughout other scenes of the film. You just can't help but be intrigued.
well,
That's not to say the film isn't without its problems, though. There are some cons to it.
I feel like I feel like there are some cons about like that I can't like describe like the problems with the cons at the moment because I think they're forgettable. Like I forgot the cons that I have with the film, but like it's not okay. What I do like about Donovan's death was that not only did like he aged
Yeah,
and
he
like
just the
whatnot,
Holy Grail just sucked
the
the
fake Grail.
fake Grail he chose just sucked the life right out
Well,
of
no,
him.
what happened was that instead of getting him eternal youth, they
Yeah,
gave him eternal death, and so he aged faster
no,
in his body.
that's not what happened.
Well,
Remember, the Holy Grail gives you eternal life, but
yeah, eternal
if
life,
you choose the wrong
eternal
God,
death. Then
it takes life from
no,
you. That's
eternal death.
literally
That's what I mean.
what the knight said. It
Well,
takes away your life force,
oh, I know that.
meaning the life was literally drained from him and poured into that cup until he was out. Until he was out,
Yeah,
and
he
he
was.
became dust
What
and
was interesting about that scene, though, sorry,
and
dust.
a little Nazi pig.
Yeah. Um, I feel like that relies too heavy on not anti-Nazi propaganda, though. That I understand why they had it there to like, oh, his loyalties, or not really his loyalties, but his trust, despite the fact that it was like, oh, trust no one, right? He really didn't had loyalty to the Nazis. He was more so that he was using them as a benefactor, just like Rene, which
But
is
he ended up trusting Dr. Schneider when she chose the Grail for him to use instead of
that's
making his own decision. He trusted her, and that got him killed
yeah, and she basically killed him, technically speaking, because like she
because
knew.
she afterwards stood back and let Indiana Jones do his own thing rather than choosing for him.
I don't remember what her character arc was, other than that maybe that I think what ended up happening was that she ended up falling in love with Indiana Jones because of the fact that he was because of, like, oh, she just fell in love with
Well,
him.
I feel like there we get more of an explanation if we just read the books.
But no, I think it
I
was
need to
because
start.
I think it
I
was
need to
because
start. No, I'm just saying. My goal from now on, I'm going to start trying to see if we can find the books.
well, anyways, I think it was because of the fact that he found her in Germany, even though and it was seen that it was and I also regret that his father was shot. She didn't want Henry Jones to be shot at all. She didn't want anyone to die because of this. And her own and the Heta men,
Hate,
Hete, sorry,
hate,
the
hate.
Hete men that they got to work with them were also dying because of the traps and whatnot. She didn't want anyone to die. She didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, she's just some Austrian researcher.
Yeah. So she learned her lesson, but she didn't learn her lesson fully about greed and whatnot. So
She paid the price for her
she just wanted the
ultimate greed.
Grail. Well, Donovan wanted eternal youth from the Grail,
eternal life,
eternal life, yeah, eternal life, and so they got eternal death. And but what I found that was interesting
I mean,
too.
death is eternal regardless. So,
Anyways, what I found interesting, instant death. Let's go with that. Instant death. Anyway, what I found interesting,
very
two things about what I found interesting about his death was that he had a literal death grip onto her arms.
And Indiana Jones had to push him off of
He's
her.
like, "Get back of her, you
Under you fiend." And the
but
knight
also,
just sat there the entire time, like, you have chosen poorly.
but what's also interesting was how he died, not just because of the fact that he turned to dust, but because he died in a similar fashion to the to how Renee died, which I feel like this indicated that they regretted killing off Renee in a sense, because like they died in a very similar fashion in the fact their eyes like he melted, I think, right? He exploded, but he also melted, I think. But like
He exploded in the dust once
No,
Indiana
he yeah.
Jones pushed him off and he crashed into the
No,
wall.
but like I'm talking about like the how the face sunk it in, and
Yeah, that was just his skin disintegrating.
yeah, but like I was also referring to Renee's death. Was all I feel like their deaths
That
were
was
very
him melting.
yeah, but I feel like their deaths were very similar in fashion.
Yeah,
Um,
very similar.
uh,
A lot of the Last Crusade had similarities with
yeah, the
Raiders
Last
of the
Crusade.
Lost Ark.
The negative. I going back to criticism of the Last Crusade, they relied. I feel like they relied a lot of things from the first film,
They
like
basically
Indiana Jones's popularity
they
and the Nazis.
basically carried over the formula, and they applied the formula used for the first film, and and they took it to the third film, and they just adjusted it here and there. They do
Traveling
this.
throughout the world
They do
too.
this with a lot of other franchises, and it hasn't gotten better for a lot of them. Jurassic Park has been seeing problems recently because it's been doing this too.
And um,
When you
now
just
anyway.
rinse and repeat, you're going to see problems.
Well, not necessarily problems. Like you're gonna have fans that feel like, well, this feels a little bit too much like the first film in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get me wrong. Like, but it was given a lot of praise because this time they also had some references from young Indiana Jones by also introducing his father and whatnot, and also
And
having
Garth.
familiarity. Um, well, Garth wasn't a friend; it was a foe. But
No, but I believe Garth was someone from Young Indiana Jones's Adventures,
well,
and I believe Garth was actually a book character.
yeah. Well, regardless of that's something that I definitely do want to explore more. Is the young adventures of Indiana Jones and the books and the comics and whatever.
We'll have to introduce that in the Ravenwood Reads.
Well, yeah. Perhaps. But what I will say is that this then will later bleed into the fourth movie where it has its own elements. But anyways, this third movie is beloved by new and of it.
Really well.
Yeah. And granted, Short Round and Marion Ravenwood weren't also in this film, but I think that's due to a lot of stuff or whatever happened. I think initially they initially had a lot of plans for this third film to make it more of the final chapter, to make it to where Marion married in that one, but Marion Rainwood
They
married
ended up
Joan,
just cutting.
but I feel like at that point, but I feel like they also realized not only by not. I think it was also because of the actors, because Marion had other things to do, not because of the expensive, right? Her situation is different from Shelley both, but anyways, it was because of the fact that like I feel like at that point it would have been a bit of a bloated cast to have like, oh hey, this are all
Everyone's here.
yeah, to have that.
Now, the same situation, unfortunately, that back in the day, Jurassic Park: The Lost World had, because they had so many popular faces in that film. At the time, audience reviews were kind of, and because they just had a bloated audience, a bloated cast of characters. But nowadays, well, I mean, nowadays you'll see similar reviews, but nowadays uh, critics are a lot more forgiving of it because they see that the film still holds up well nowadays.
Anyway,
Speaking of which, would you say that this film still holds up nowadays too?
I feel like
or does it fall short, unlike the first two films?
I feel like it's I feel like the how do I say this? Um, a lot of people just like the third movie in general, in the sense of the fact that it feels like an ending. It's literally called The Last Crusade, and so it feels like an ending. Even though I feel like the fourth movie does a better job at making it an ending. I
The
am.
Last Crusade.
I will. When we watch the fifth one, if we ever do watch the fifth one, you'll probably have to make me to watch it.
We're gonna have to if we're gonna honestly criticize all of it.
No, I'm not gonna play the video game anytime soon. I'll probably try give it a try, but like, um,
If not, we'll watch
I
a
I, I
walkthrough
really
and and we'll give you our review.
I understand why they had Nazis in this one, but like if you have the same group of villains, I guess, repeated, it kind of gets a little tiresome in my opinion. Which is why I kind of like the idea of the fourth film. Excuse me, not having Nazis, but also to the fact that how old Harrison Ford was in that film and how old Harrison Ford is in the fifth film. I don't know.
Weren't they Nazis though?
No, they were communist. They were communist in the fourth film, but I'll have to also double check, but I'm 100% certain that they were communist. Anyways, in the fifth film, I don't know who the villains were in the fifth film, but regardless, what I will have to say is that I like the idea of them changing up who are the not the villains, but like who are the minions. Sorry, the Nazis in all four. No, sorry, Nazis. Sorry, the Nazis in both the first film and the third film both act as minions, but however, I feel like they were a bigger threat in the first film versus in the third film because of the fact that they also kind of pushed Renee's buttons.
Well,
I don't understand.
The thing is, in the books, the Nazis are reoccurring villains throughout a bunch of Indiana Jones's adventures, so you may get more tired of the books.
True. I feel like, though, having the little button that, like, oh, his loyalty lied with the Nazis, where it's like, no, it really wasn't. Volga,
he was just working.
Ernest died. A lot of the Nazis fled when they found out that
they were all dead.
Oh yeah, no, all the Nazis died. The
Hittite soldiers.
The Hittite soldiers fled. Okay. Oh, I do want to say there was one bit of criticism with the booby traps. I do want to say one bit of criticism is that I understand the saw blade that made Indiana Jones kneel, which I think
because you have to kneel before God. That's the trick with the trap.
I think it would have made more sense to have multiple ones to make him kneel before God over his head. I didn't understand the second saw blade that made him to roll, because you don't have to roll before God.
Oh no, he only rolled all the way to he only knelt and then he rolled to face the direction of the blade, see the mechanism and stop it.
Yeah, but the other one didn't make any sense because it was below him. So what was the purpose of that one?
That one was to make him not lower his head too low, because if he lowered his head too low, his neck would have been severed.
The mistake of Indiana Jones putting down the dirt for the path made Donovan see the path. I understand why he did it, so that he can see it. But however,
on his way back,
on his way back. However, the thing is, though,
when the villains follow, they can see it too.
No, it's not that. It's the thing is, though, he already has faith to cross back. So, like, Indiana Jones. Well, I'll chalk it up to Indiana Jones being gullible there and not thinking ahead. He was thinking ahead, but he didn't think ahead of his head. So, there's some nitpicks I do have with the third film and like how things work in structure.
how things played out. I
Yeah, how
think
things
he
played out.
actually knew they were following him, so he gave them, he did that to let them follow him because he knew that if Donovan waited outside, he could potentially take the Grail and not let Indiana Jones save his father. So the best thing to do would just be to let Donovan follow him.
Well, anyways, but that's all we have to say about the Last Crusade. These are our last statements for the stream.
Honestly, I believe it to be a very good film. Is it the best film, though? We'll have to wait and see. We still have yet to watch the other ones.
From memory, I feel like it's sort of the best film. Like, and well, yeah. Anyways, I feel like it's sort of the best film, but it's not the best film. You know what I'm saying? But it's just our opinions.
I feel like it might actually be the best film because
And
it was a lot more entertaining than the first two, at least in my opinion, from what I remember. Rewatching these films, I enjoyed Raiders of the Lost Ark. I enjoyed this film a lot more.
anyways, that's all we have for today's stream.
Yeah.
See you
If you
probably tomorrow.
if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like down below. It helps us out on our channel. You can hit the subscribe button down below as well. Click the notification bell beside it and make sure to turn on all notifications so you won't miss a video here on the Random Fandom. You won't miss a beat here with myself and Ravenwood as well.
Yeah.
And be sure to let us know in the comments
what you like
what you like about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and what other topics you want to see us cover next. And hopefully we'll see you all Sunday for the continuation of my descent into madness.
I might also have a stream as well tomorrow to continue my Gunpla. I will not have a stream Monday. I used Gunpla. Yeah, that's how you. It's called Gunpla. Gundam Play. Gunpla.
Oh, okay.
To continue my Gunpla. I haven't been recently due to the fact that I've been trying to get my schedule for work fixed, but for now on, I don't have Mondays today for me to make sure I have everything ready for work. But anyways,
until next time, everyone, we'll see you all later. Cheers, much love as always.
Bye bye.
Tip of the hat, everyone.
Before I go, hold on. Before we go, there's also a few other things. I do want to do a stream on maybe a mini stream, depending on how this works out. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Mutants Unleashed.
Let me read it. It's my game from the Nickelodeon OG or outright games. Anyways, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed video game.
Well,
this game.
Anyway,
so I might play it.
Strange fate awaits. I'm off. Bye-bye.
I might play it tomorrow before we play his stream, so that I can test out a few kinks into our streaming due to OBS and how all that other thing works. But anyways, that's all we have. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hit the wrong